What's up guys, I'm Vocal Strike and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist Link Evolution. Last time, we crushed that annoying bug, Weevil Underwood, and this time we are going to be continuing in the next chapter, the Harpy Lady. Yugi wasn't the only duelist who was motivated to win the tournament for a loved one. Despite being a novice duelist, Joey had his own reasons for wanting to win. His sister, Serenity. I'd better be the champion for Serenity's sake. She's always counted on me, even when we were kids. I'm going to win this tournament and the prize money. I'm going to make sure you don't lose your eyesight by paying for your surgery. I promise. And of course, Serenity has a different name in Japan. In the Japanese version of the anime and in the manga, she is known as Shizuka Kawai. Kwai is her last name, so that's good. That's most likely Joey's Japanese last name as well. But in the dubbed version, she is known as Serenity Wheeler. This meditative moment was rudely broken when Joey and his friends heard someone laughing and taunting another duelist a short distance away. A voice that annoying can only belong to Mai. The team met Mai Valentine on the boat to Duelist Kingdom. She was a manipulative, self-absorbed duelist who had the uncanny ability to always know what card she would draw next. Hey Yugi, are your duels going well? I might be up for a duel myself. So get ready because I choose to challenge you, Joey. What? You challenge me? Do you have the guts to accept? I accept. Let's duel. Get ready to lose. Mai's plan in this one was to basically go after Joey, who at this point is a novice duelist. So he would naturally be the small fry. He'd be the easier one to take out. You know, take out the weaklings first to get easy star chips. That kind of strategy. In this duel, Mai is using Harpy Ladies in her deck. Whereas Joey mostly relies on Warriors and Beast Warriors. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, all fairly strong cards on the offense. Not so much anywhere else. Okay, so let's set Bottomless Trap Hole. Oh, and we have some fusion cards. Thousand Dragon and Flame Swordsman. The maximum number of copies of cards that you can get, that you can allow in your deck is 3. You can't have any more than 3 copies of a card in your deck. If you are following the ban list, then if a card is labeled forbidden on the ban list, that means you cannot have it in your deck at all. If it is labeled limited, you cannot, let's go ahead and summon you in attack mode. If it's labeled limited, you can only have 1 copy of that card in your deck. If it's labeled semi-limited, you can have up to 2 copies of that card in your deck. You don't need to follow the ban list if you are playing casually, but you have to follow the ban list in most games, most official games like this, and in tournaments. Okay, so she didn't have anything strong enough to beat Axe Raider. In Duelist Kingdom, like when the game was starting out, before it even came out as an actual card game, the rules for the anime was already established. If you are the type that likes to look at card game animes and try to look for any sort of cheats and illegal maneuvers, Duelist Kingdom is a gold mine for you. I am not kidding, because there is actually a lot of rule changes. Also, I should note that Mai Valentine's Japanese name is Mai Kujaku. Okay. Okay, so I got one of the cards for Flame Swordsman. Some of the more cheating methods is that, in Yugi's duel against Pegasus, last time with the Shadow game, he had Zombie Warrior in his deck, which officially is a fusion card, is a fusion monster. And it was put into his main deck. Joey's Flame Swordsman is given the same treatment, where officially it is a fusion monster, but in the anime and even in the manga, Flame Swordsman and Zombie Warriors were treated as normal monsters. So that's already cheating. And the Duelist Kingdom rules has Kingdom also kind of tried to incorporate into like some realistic stuff into the card game. So like for instance, these monsters here, they are all land monsters with no ranged attacks at all, right? Mai's Harpy Ladies are all aerial monsters that can fly. So, in the Duelist Kingdom rules, land monsters can't actually destroy any flying monsters unless they themselves can fly or they have a ranged attack, which none of these monsters have. And there's my favorite type of card, the Harpy Lady. And between the Japanese and the American versions of the card game, there was actually some censorship, both in the anime and in the card game when it came to some of the cards. Generally, these censorships were like over-sexualization and stuff that looked like realistic guns, etc. Harpy Lady and Dark Magician Girl and Barrel Dragons are the three most commonly known cards to get these censorships, where the Dark Magician Girl has like in the Japanese version has a shorter skirt, she has bigger breasts, she actually shows cleavage, and she even shows a pentagram on the brooch that's on her outfit. The Harpy Ladies are basically known to, and of course battery levels getting low, are known to kind of be a bit more skimpy, where again their busts were bigger but their outfits were covering next to nothing, and they mostly showed a bunch of skin. And the Barrel Dragon, which we're probably going to be seeing later in this game, normally is a machine type monster that actually has like 3 actual guns, barrels down, like actual revolver gun design to it. In the American version, it is it's given like, you know, laser guns, essentially. It is given basically what's shown as a toy. And it looks like that we're not going to be able to see the Flame Swordsman at all. I kind of want to show that off. I want to show off its animation if I can. So I'm going to take it easy on Mai for a bit, because I do want to see if we can show off Flame Swordsman and its animation. Okay, we need Masaki now. But Joey does not have his red eyes yet in this duel, and he's mostly running warriors and beast warriors in his deck. With a few exceptions with, like, Baby Dragon and Time Wizard. Ah, 4-star Ladybug and Doom. I don't want to take too long, though. Come on, Misaki, where are you? Besides, this would also be our good chance to... No? Really? No? Okay. It would also be a good chance to show fusion summoning, but it doesn't look like we're going to be getting it. So let's just end this duel before this duel takes forever. To anyone who is wondering, if you want to, play a casual game where you want to follow the Duelist Kingdom rules, these are the rules. Each player begins the duel with 2,000 life points. Neither player is allowed to attack your opponent directly. Players can summon monsters of any level without offering tribute. So, like the Dark Magician and the Blue Eyes could be summoned immediately. Fusion summoning and ritual summoning still has to follow the fusion summoning, all the other extra deck summoning, and the ritual summoning still has to follow the official rules. Certain cards have anime-only special abilities that affect the field. So, example, Umi hides underwater monsters from being seen by the opponent. If attacked, Full Moon will increase Umi's tide while shrinking the amount of land. Fusion monsters didn't seem to exist as separate cards, like the Flame Swordsman, but that's honestly just... Fusion monsters didn't seem to exist as separate cards with the player has within his or her main deck. Flame Swordsman was actually a normal monster in the second series anime, with the dub showing it as a fusion monster because it was the fusion monster in the TCG. Some fusion monsters were capable of being treated as separate monsters for some card effects and attacks, such as the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. Since it has 3 heads, it can attack 3 times. Certain field types give certain monster bonuses, like Ocean Field for water monsters, which increase those monsters' attack and defense by 30%. A normal spell card can be activated during the battle phase if it is set face down. A ritual spell card did not need to have its corresponding ritual monster in the hand in order for it to be activated. When a player won with Exodia, a player laid out all 5 cards on the field for the computer system to recognize as a victory condition, because that's how the arenas recognize the cards. Some cards had alternate names, but that's not important. Only one monster was allowed to declare an attack per turn. When a monster was destroyed by a card effect, the controller of that card would receive damage equal to half of that monster's attack points. And if multiple monsters were destroyed, those attack points were all added up and then cut in half. And that is your damage. So that is treated as an equipped card, was still treated as a monster and therefore could be used for instances such as tribute for ritual summons. A player could summon a monster in face-up defense position or flip a set monster into face-up defense position. If a player failed to summon a monster during their turn when they didn't control one, they would automatically lose the duel. How? How could I ever lose to such an amateur? I tried to tell you that there's more to duel monsters than just kicking the other guy's butt. Mai is basically it's part of this tournament to get the money for, to live the life of luxury. That's all she's ever wants. And she was also cheating in this duel. She no longer does this tactic anymore throughout the rest of the series, but in this one particular duel, she is cheating. And she calls it aroma tactics. Basically, she sprayed each individual card with a different scented perfume. So whenever she closed her eyes and smelled it, she was able to tell what card she was able to draw and play without looking at, because she memorized the scents and their corresponding cards. This actually messed with their heads a lot. Messed with their opponents' heads a lot. And Joey only managed to figure it out because he was he was closing his eyes, he was concentrating, he was calming down, and then he noticed the smell. If you're ever going to be a real champion, you gotta learn to care about someone other than yourself. And she also believed at this point that the life of a duelist is a lonely one. Friends today, enemies tomorrow. Okay, next chapter. Attack from the Deep. Ooh, this one has Mako. The truth and power of the Millennium Puzzle was beginning to dawn on Yugi. During his duels, the puzzle infused Yugi with the power and soul of an ancient spirit. Though this was a major issue to ponder, there was a smaller, but no less important matter to deal with first. Oh, the duel made me hungry. Did any of you guys remember to bring any food with you? Yeah, none of them are actually smart enough to pack any sort of camping equipment or anything like that. The only building that's actually on this island is Pegasus's castle. Sorry, Joey. What were we thinking coming here with no food? How are we ever going to get through the rest of the competition without anything to eat? That's a good question, Joey. This dueling really takes it out of you, and I haven't seen any burger stands or restaurants since we got here. I smell something cooking. That away. They followed the scent to the beach where they spotted a campfire with several roasting fish in the distance. If you are a hunter or a fisherman, you really have nothing to worry about on this island. Oh man, I just love barbecued fish. Smells good. And I bet it tastes even better. What makes you think those fish are yours to eat? Hey, trust me. We eat first and ask questions later. Your stomachs will thank me. Joey ran down to the campfire. Joey would say anything to feel his belly. Some people have absolutely no self-control. Stomach growl. Joey, save some for me! Tristan ran after Joey. It wasn't long before Yugi and Taya joined them as well. Joey grabbed one of the fish from the fire. Oh man, this looks awesome! Just as the team began to bite into the fish, a young man emerged from the ocean with a spear in his hand. Enjoy yourselves, you fish thieves, for this is your last meal. This is Mako Tsunami, a water duelist. His Japanese name in the manga and Japanese version of the anime is Ryota Kajiki. I knew this was a bad idea. How dare you steal my fish, you bottom-feeding thieves! Hey, chill out, guy. It's just a few fish. A few fish that do not belong to you. And to steal a fisherman's catch is to prove you have no honor. Wait a second. Aren't you Mako Tsunami, the top-ranked ocean duelist? Before the Duelist Kingdom and after the duel against Kaiba, there was a Japanese regional championship tournament. Mako came in third, Rex came in second, and Weevil came in first. And who might you be? I'm Yugimoto. Sorry about your fish. You're Yugimoto, the only duelist ever to defeat Seto Kaiba. What a fine surprise. I must apologize, I've been ungracious. If you are friends of Yugimoto, please come sit down and eat your fill. The team sat down at the fire and shared a meal with Mako. After the feast, the team thanked Mako and started to head out, when Mako threw his spear to the ground in front of them. I treated you to dinner. Perhaps you will honor me with a duel? He's nuts! No, but I am an expert fisherman, and you have taken my bait. What bait? Why, the fish, of course. I laid it out and lured you three right in, but I never expected to catch Yugimoto. And just before, he was about to, skewer you for stealing his catch. I am calling bullshit on this, Mako. I reeled in another duelist a short time ago, but he was not a worthy opponent. But a duel against you, Yugi, would be a true test. Mako Tsunami, I accept your challenge. Mako is actually one of the fine upstanding duelists in the Duelist Kingdom tournament that you're going to see. Most of the others are usually jerks or cheaters. Now, this was actually the duel that had a a really iconic shenanigans moment in the anime. One of many during Duelist Kingdom, but this is actually one of the most iconic ones. And it actually involves the water, the mystical moon, and the giant soldier of stone. What do I got? Gaia the Dragon Champion. Once per turn, you can change this card to face down defense position. When this card is flipped, summon to target one monster your opponent controls and return that target to the hand. Ooh. Actually, now that I think about it, I probably should have waited on that. Fiend Kraken. And Island Turtle, so it wouldn't have mattered. Now, as you notice, this effect did not activate. That's because this effect only activates when this card is flipped summoned, not flipped from an attack. Being flipped face up from an attack does not activate this card's effect, because it's not officially a flip effect. Otherwise, it would have said flip at the start of the card text. A being flip summoned means that you basically set this card face down and flipped it face up on your next turn in attack position. So let's bring out our heavy hitter. Get rid of you. And bring out the Curse of Dragon. So, the cheating moment was basically this. In Duelist Kingdom, the field was split into two halves. One half on Mako's side was all water, which is where the water creature, where his water, aqua, fish, and sea serpent type monsters actually gain an advantage. Not only a field power bonus, but also was able to hide underwater so that no one could see him. And you can't fight what you can't see. The other 50% was on Yugi's side, which was land, which is where all his monsters is able to be played. No land means he can't play anything. He uses Silver Fang. He summons Silver Fang and uses the Mystical Moon. His Silver Fang does later get destroyed on the next turn, but the moon actually increased the tide of the water, like how it does in real life, and basically surrounded almost in the entirety of Yugi's field. With the exception of just one patch of land. And that was it. He summons the Giant Soldier of Stone, at first in face-up defense mode, and then switches it to attack mode. Because what he wanted Mako to do was actually surround his three ocean monsters around the Giant Soldier of Stone island, which is exactly what he wanted. He then switches the Giant Soldier of Stone to attack mode and orders the Soldier of Stone to attack the moon, his own spell card, which is against the rules, which is against the official rules anyway. But because he is gigantic, he was able to reach the moon and can easily destroy it. This gets rid of Mako's water field and basically beaches all of Mako's water monsters that the Curse of Dragon and Burning Land was able to basically cook alive, wiping out Mako's life points as a result. And of course, naturally, that is actually one of the more iconic bullshit rule breaks that Duelist Kingdom is just littered with. That's only one example. If you actually want to see other instances of a little bit of bullshit rule breaking in Duelist in the Duelist Kingdom era, either read the manga or either read the Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist manga or watch the Duel Monsters anime. That's all you really need to do, and you will see just a lot, and I mean a lot of not a lot of strong cards, a lot of rule breaks. They actually don't start following the official rules until Battle City, and even then some of the rules there were still kind of broken. So if you're gonna follow the anime on how to play the game, the anime will cheat for the sake of the plot. So keep that in mind. Do not follow the anime if you want to follow the official rules. You either are going to want to play this game or actually read the official rule books. And he dead hands Burning Land. When this card is activated, if there are any field spell cards on the field, destroy them. During each player's standby phase, the turn player takes 500 damage, which really isn't bad. And that gets rid of Mako's advantage. Okay, 2,000 points of damage done there. Something I should also mention when it comes to summoning monsters that I failed to mention before. You are only allowed to normal summon once per turn, and tribute summoning higher level monsters on your turn is a form of normal summoning. However, all the other different forms of summoning like ritual summoning, fusion summoning, and all that, those are considered special summons. So, and you can special summon and flip summon monsters as many times as you are able, or as many times as you want. What a grand duel! I salute you, my friend. Mako has his own reasons for trying to win the tournament. He wants to get the prize money as well. In the dubbed version of the anime, as a child, he and his father were at sea, fishing on their boat, and they get caught in a storm. Mako's father manages to tie him to the mast so that he wouldn't get swept away into the ocean. But his father wasn't as lucky. However, it is assumed that his father survived because a lifeboat went missing. So they placed a little monument that looks like one of those Japanese gravestones that you see in cemeteries to try to help guide his way back home, but he never came back. This, of course, was changed in the subbed. In the subbed version, it does play out mostly the same with the tombstone and everything, but Mako's father is dead, and the ship is wrecked in both versions. So he wants to... So in the dubbed version, that tombstone in the subbed version is an actual gravestone in honor of his father. So in the dubbed version, he wants to buy a boat so that he can go off and start searching for his father. In the subbed version, he wants to buy a top-of-the-line fishing boat so that he can fish again in honor of his father. In the manga version, though, but the storm plays out mostly the same as a child. The ship does get wrecked, but both Mako and his father actually survive the incident. And they did not have the money to get another fishing boat, so Mako wants to win the prize money to get a top-of-the-line fishing boat so that they can fish again. And in the manga, it even states that it could be just coincidence, but there was actually an oil spill incident over an oil rig nearby in the area that they were at. And like literally seconds before the storm came in. So a superstitious sailor would believe, including Mako, would believe that they angered the ocean. This victory was not easily won, Mako. You're a great duelist yourself. Oh wow, we get the legendary fisherman right away. Okay. So we have finally unlocked challenge mode, and now we have unlocked Mako's challenge deck, Ritual of the Gishki. Gishki? I think it's Gishki. And he doesn't get legendary fisherman until Battle City. And sure, let's have one more duel for this episode. The Dinosaur Duelist. This is our introduction to Rex Raptor. My Valentine sat on a hill having a quiet moment to herself. I don't get it. Trashing hotshot duelists is usually as fun as a full clearance sale. Why can't I enjoy it anymore? It's all because of that obnoxious punk Joey. I can't believe such an amateur beat me. I've got to get even with that grinning gutter punk. At that moment, Rex Raptor, whom I dueled and defeated on the way to Duelist Kingdom, jumped out and surprised her. It's me, Rex Raptor, the Dino Duelist, and I'm itching to finish that match we started on the boat. Rex Raptor's Japanese name is Dinosaur Ryuzaki. Again, I think Rex Raptor is just a much better name. Funny, I thought I already knocked you on your Jurassic butt. Think whatever you want. You're about to get stopped. You think I'm gonna waste another minute with a pea-brain like you? Beat it, Dino Breath. Shoot, shoot. Pea-brain? I happen to have been a finalist in this year's regional championship, and I'll have you know that I've already won 5 star chips. Mai held up her bracelet to show off her star chips. Whoa. How'd you get 8 chips already? From wannabes like you, who think that by dueling a chick, they'll score some easy stars. I've only lost once, but once I find that punk kid Joey, it's payback. Joey Wheeler? How could you lose to him? I'd love to see you try and... that gives me an idea. Rex, I'll agree to duel you, if you do something for me first. Mai and Rex searched for Yugi and his friends in hopes of finding Joey. It wasn't long before they did. Tell me that's not who I think it is. How are you, Joseph? Glad to see me? Ecstatic. So, Joey, is Yugi still fighting all your battles for you? Everyone knows if Yugi wasn't there to hold your hand, you wouldn't have beat me. Isn't that right, Yugi? That's not true. Oh, really? Then I propose he steps out of your shadow here and now. If Joey thinks he's so tough, let's see him play for himself. In the manga, this was Joey's idea, where he doesn't want Yugi's advice in this duel. And Joey beat Mai by using a time wizard to age all of Mai's Harpy Ladies and aging his baby dragon to 1000 Dragon. Think you have the guts to step up and face the duelists I've arranged for you? I'm dueling on Mai's behalf. Recognize me? That's Rex Raptor. This twerp's supposed to scare me or something? I bet you ain't so tough. Don't you remember, Joey? Rex placed 2nd in the regionals. Well, Joey, you gotta ask Mommy's permission or what? This is your big chance to prove yourself. Or are you gonna back out? Don't worry, sis, I'll make you proud. Alright then, it's dino feeding time. Let's duel. Brain it. If it wasn't obvious, Rex Raptor's main deck is composed of dinosaur types. And his main, usually what's considered as his ace card is the 2-headed King Rex, which isn't all that powerful for a level 5 monster. But his strongest cards as of this Duelist Kingdom is the Red Eyes Black Dragon and Serpent Night Dragon. At least I think that's what it's called. Let me double check really quickly. We again have 4 fusion cards. Thousand Dragon and Flame Swordsman. At least I think it's called Serpent Night Dragon, right? Yeah, Serpent Night Dragon. Which are honestly his only 2 dragon monsters. Now, in Duelist Kingdom rules, the Flame Sword dinosaurs are actually weak to fire type attacks. So, weak to fire monsters or any monsters that uses fire for their attacks. So, the Flame Swordsman actually can clean his clock. And let's start off with Graceful Charity. Oh, we have Time Wizard already. And Masaki. Let's get rid of this Axe Raider. What else do I want to get rid of? Lava Battle Guard. Now, how Joey gets his Time Wizard is from Yugi back on the Duelist Kingdom boat. Yugi actually gives him Time Wizard to use in his deck. And Time Wizard's a bit of a gamble. In the Duelist Kingdom version. Oh, and he's brought out Red Eyes already. Oh, this isn't gonna end well, is it? In the Duelist Kingdom anime, that staff he has, let's see if I can show details. Yeah, you kind of see how his staff looks like a bit of a clock. It's actually a roulette in the Duel Monsters anime. And it spins the roulette, and if it lands on a castle, which is on the top and the bottom of the roulette, it will activate time magic and will age stains over 1,000 years. By 1,000 years. This can actually, this is what makes Mai's Harpy Ladies, become aged old women, and actually even Rex's Red Eyes into a fossil. If it lands on a skull, though, it destroys all of your monsters, and because it's through an effect in Duelist Kingdom rules, half of those monsters' total attack points is dealt to you as damage. In the official card game, and we actually do see it once again in 5Ds showing its actual official card game, is that once per turn, you can toss a coin and call it. If you call it right, destroy all of your opponent's monsters. If you call it wrong, destroy as many monsters as you control as possible, and if you do, take damage equal to half the total attack points of those destroyed monsters had while face up on the field. I could gamble with the Time Wizard. I actually could gamble with the Time Wizard. Now I kind of wish I saved Swamp Battle Guard for Soul Exchange so I can get rid of that Red Eyes. But I may just have to gamble with the Time Wizard now. Okay. No whammies, no whammies. Ah! Damn, and I normal summoned already, so I can't summon again. Crawling Dragon number 2. This is gonna hurt. Actually, I think I just lost. Yep, I just lost. You better get used to this, because in later duels where they start getting real effect heavy and everything, they're going to we're probably going to see a lot more losses. And as you can see, if you lose a duel, you do get one random new card and some duel points. But you also get a tip. However, sometimes I find these tips a little bit insulting and useless if you can't get the cards to begin with. And of course we can skip it since we don't have to read it. Let's try this again. And if I wind up losing, I'll just, there'll just be a cut ahead to a successful run. Okay, so you're saying the card Monster Gate. Oh, Sword Arm Dragon already. Tribute one monster. Excavate cards on the top of your deck until you excavate a monster that can be normal summoned or set. Special summon it. Also send the other excavated cards to the graveyard. Okay, don't need you. And let's get rid of Flame Manipulator. Use Soul Exchange. So now, if we we can tribute summon a monster, but at least one of those tributes have to be the opponent's monster that we selected, which in this case is Sword Arm of Dragon. To the end of this turn, okay. Also, you cannot attack the turn you use the card. There's Soul Exchange. But let's bring out Axe Raider instead, since we have no reason to use Soul Exchange. Okay, so he's bringing out a monster. Oh, Mega Zowler. Push defense. Okay, Rex, what do you got this time? Nothing. Cost down, which I also don't need. He might be able to bring out Red Eyes. And that's exactly what he's doing. He's bringing out Red Eyes. Another baby dragon? That doesn't help me at all. And no, Joey actually does not get his Red Eyes on this. At this point. He actually gets his Red Eyes from Rex. I'll be able to at least get rid of one of his monsters. If I do this. I'm not getting cards I need. Crawling Dragon number 2, that's an even stronger card. Leo Gun. Goodbye, Red Eyes. He doesn't get a field power bonus, but oh well. For safety reasons, always destroy the face-up defense position monster. Okay, we turn the tides in our favor. Rue Kaiser. Let's use cost down, which will reduce all monsters. Which will let me discard one card, and for the rest of this turn, reduce the levels of all monsters. I will discard a Baby Dragon, and I'm now able to normal summon Rue Kaiser without a tribute. Two-headed King Rex, that is his ace. I could have sworn that was a level 5, but no, I guess not. It's a level 4. Okay, this is working out. This is working out. Next turn, assuming he doesn't bring out something that could easily take out all my monsters, I should be able to win. And I win. Hopefully. And there's no point in using the Soul Exchange. Might as well see what he has. Trachodon. Rex puts up an ante in this game, and he bets his Red Eyes Black Dragon for Joey's Time Wizard. If Joey wins, he gets Red Eyes. If Rex wins, he gets Time Wizard, because he was planning on using the Time Wizard against Mai. So I guess you won my Star Chips. Not only did I win your Star Chips, but I won your Red Eyes too. And that is how Joey gets his ace card. Oh, right, battle packs. Battle packs are used for the draft mode. Basically what it is that you open packs and then you open like set packs and you basically pick random cards from it to make a makeshift deck. Whether you win or lose, you will always keep those cards. If you played any sort of like draft 45 cards in 3 rounds of pack opening, your deck is made instantly from 10 5-card battle packs. So seal play is more random, draft you actually choose. And no matter whether you win or lose, you will always keep the cards on your person. So, in the next episode, we will continue Yugi's journey through Duelist Kingdom and start the evil spirit of the ring. Thanks so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next episode.